Hello everybody and welcome to today's Sefer portion. Today we're going to be reading YOVHELIYM or Jubilees 5 and 6. And it came to pass when the children of men began to multiply in the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the angels of Elohim saw them on a certain year of this Jubilee, that they were beautiful to look upon. And they took themselves women of all whom they chose, and they bore unto them sons, and they were the Nephilim. And iniquity increased on the earth, and all flesh corrupted its way, alike men, cattle, and beasts, and birds, and everything that walks on the earth, all of them corrupted their ways, and their orders, and began to devour each other. And iniquity increased upon the earth, and every imagination of the thoughts of men was thus evil continually. And Elohim looked upon the earth, and behold it was corrupt, and all flesh had corrupted its orders. And all that were upon the earth had wrought all manner of evil before his eyes. And he said that he would destroy man and all flesh upon the face of the earth, which he created. But Noah found grace before the eyes of Yahuwah, and against the angels whom he had sent upon the earth he was exceedingly wroth. And he gave commandment to root them out of all their dominion. And he bade us to bind them in the depths of the earth, and behold, they are bound in the midst of them, and are kept separate. And against their sons went forth a command from before his face, that they should be smitten with the sword, and be removed from under heaven. And he said, My rock shall not always abide on men, for they also are flesh, and their days shall be 120 years. And he sent his sword into their midst, and each should slay his neighbor. And they began to slay each other till they all fell by the sword, and were destroyed from the earth. And their fathers were witnesses of their destruction, and after this they were bound in the depths of the earth forever, until the day of the great condemnation, when judgment is executed on all those who have corrupted their ways and their works before Yahuwah, and he destroyed all from their places. And there was not left one of them who he judged not according to all their wickedness. And he made for all his works a new and righteous nature, so that they should not sin in their whole nature forever, but should be all righteous, each in his kind always. And the judgment of all is ordained and written on the heavenly tablets in righteousness, even the judgment of all who depart from the path which is ordained for them to walk in. And if they walk not therein, judgment is written down for every creature and for every kind. And there is nothing in heaven or on earth, or in light, or in darkness, or in Sheol, or in the depth, or in the place of darkness which is not judged, and all their judgments are ordained, and written and engraved. In regard to all he will judge, and according to his greatness, and the small according to his smallness, and each according to his way. And he is not one who will regard the person of any, nor is he one who will receive gifts. If he says that he will execute judgment on each, if one gave everything that is on the earth, he will not regard the gifts or the person of any, nor accept anything at his hands, for he is a righteous judge. And of the children of Israel it has been written and ordained, if they turn to him in righteousness, he will forgive all their transgressions and pardon all their sins. It is written and ordained that he will show mercy to all who will turn from all their guilt once each year. And as for all those who corrupted their ways and their thoughts before the flood, no man's person was accepted save that of Noah alone. For his person was accepted in behalf of his sons, whom Elohim saved from the waters of the flood on his account. For his heart was righteous in all his ways, according as it was commanded regarding him, and he had not departed from aught that was ordained for him. And Yahuwah said that he would destroy everything which was upon the earth, both men and cattle and beasts and fowls of the air, and that which moves on the earth. And he commanded Noah to make him an ark, that he might save himself from the waters of the flood. And Noah made an ark in all respects as he commanded him. And the 27th Jubilee of years, in the 5th week of the 5th year, on the new moon of the 1st month, and he entered the 6th year thereof, and in the 2nd month, on the new moon of the 2nd month, till the 16th, and he entered in all that were brought to him into the ark, and Yahuwah closed it from without on the 17th day. And Yahuwah opened 7 floodgates of heaven, and the mouths of the fountains of the great deep, 7 mouths in number, and he flooded gates. And the floodgates began to pour down water from the heaven 40 days and 40 nights, and the fountains of the deep also sent up waters until the whole world was full of water. And the waters increased upon the earth. 15 cubits did the water rise above all the high mountains. And the ark was lifted above the earth, and it moved upon the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed on the face of the earth 5 months, 150 days. And the ark went and rested on top of Lubar, one of the mountains of Ararat. And on the new moon in the 4th month, the fountains of the great deep were closed, and the floodgates of heaven were restrained. And on the new moon of the 7th month, all the mouths of the abyss of the earth were opened, and the water began to descend into the great deep below. And on the new moon of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains were seen, and on the new moon of the 1st month of the earth became visible, and the waters disappeared from above the earth, in the 5th week in the 7th year thereof. And on the 17th day in the 2nd month the earth was dry, and on the 27th thereof he opened the ark, and sent forth from him beasts and cattle and birds and every moving thing. And on the new moon of the 3rd month he went forth from the ark. So this is chapter 6. Went forth from the ark and built an altar on that mountain, and he made atonement for the earth, and took a kid and made atonement by its blood for all the guilt of the earth. For everything that had been on it had been destroyed, save those that were in the ark with Noah. And he placed the fat thereof on the altar, and he took an ox and a goat and a sheep and kids and salt and a turtle dove and the young of a dove, and placed a burnt sacrifice on the altar, and poured thereon an offering mingled with oil, and sprinkled wine, and strewed frankincense over everything, and caused a goodly savor to arise, acceptable before Yahuwah. And Yahuwah smelled the goodly savor, and he made a covenant with him that there should not be any more a flood to destroy the earth, that all the days of the earth's seed time and harvest should never cease. Cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night should not change their order, nor cease forever. And you increase ye and multiply upon the earth, and become many upon it, and be a blessing upon it. The fear of you and the dread of you I will inspire in everything that is on the earth and in the sea. And behold, I have given unto you all beasts, and all winged things, and everything that moves on the earth, and the fish in the waters, and all things for food. As the green herbs I have given you all things to eat, but flesh with the life thereof, with its blood ye shall not eat, for the life of all flesh is in the blood. Lest your blood of your lives be required at the hand of every man, at the hand of every beast will I require the blood of man. Whoso sheds man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of Elohim made he man. And you increase and multiply on the earth. And Noah and his sons swore that they would not eat any blood that was in any flesh. And he made a covenant before Yahuwah Elohim forever throughout all the generations of the earth. In this month, on this account, he spoke to you that you should make a covenant with the children of Israel in this month upon the mountain with an oath, and that you should sprinkle blood upon them, because of the words of the covenant, which Yahuwah made with them forever. And this testimony is written concerning you, that you should observe it continually, so that you should not eat on any day any blood of beasts or birds or cattle during all the days of the earth. And the man who eats the blood of beasts or of cattle or of birds during all the days of the earth, he and his seed shall be rooted out of the land. And do you command the children of Israel to eat no blood, so that their names and their seed may be before YOVHELIYM continually. And for this Torah there is no limit of days, for it is forever. They shall observe it throughout their generations, so that they may continue supplicating on your behalf with blood before the altar every day. And at the time of morning and evening they shall seek forgiveness on your behalf perpetually before Yahuwah, that they may guard it, and not be rooted out. And he gave to Noah and his sons a sign that there should not again be a flood on the earth. He set his bow in a cloud for a sign of the eternal covenant, that there should not again be a flood on the earth to destroy it in all the days of the earth. For this reason it is ordained and written in the heavenly tablets, that they should celebrate the feast of Shavuot in this month once a year, to renew a covenant every year. And this whole feast was celebrated in heaven from the day of creation to the days of Noah, 26 Jubilees and 5 weeks of years. And Noah and his sons observed it for 7 Jubilees and 1 week of years, to the day of Noah's death. And from the day of Noah's death his sons did away with it until the days of Abraham. And they ate blood. But Abraham observed it, and Yitzchak and Yaakov and his children observed it to your days. And in your days the children of Yisrael forgot it until ye celebrated it anew on this mountain. And do you command the children of Israel to observe this feast in all their generations for a commandment unto them? One day in the year, in this month, they shall celebrate the feast. For it is the feast of Shavuot, the feast of first fruits of the wheat harvest. This feast is twofold, and of double nature, according to what is written and engraved concerning it. Celebrate it, for I have written in the Sefer the first Torah, in that which I have written for you, that you should celebrate it in its seasons, one day in the year. And I explained to you its sacrifices, that the children of Israel should remember and should celebrate it throughout their generations in this month, one day in every year. And on the new moon of the first month, and on the new moon of the 4th month, and on the new moon of the 7th month, and on the new moon of the 10th month, are the days of remembrance. And the days of the seasons and the 4 divisions of the year, these are written and ordained as a testimony forever. And Noah ordained them for himself as feasts for the generations forever, so that they have become thereby a memorial unto him. And on the new moon of the 1st month he was bidden to make for himself an ark. And on the day the earth became dry, and he opened the ark and saw the earth. And on the new moon of the 4th month the mouths of the depths of the abyss beneath were closed. And on the new moon of the 7th month all the mouths of the abysses of the earth were opened, and the waters began to descend into them. And on the new moon of the 10th month the tops of the mountains were seen, and Noah was glad. And on this account he ordained them for himself as feasts for a memorial forever. And thus they are ordained. And they placed them on the heavenly tablets. Each had written weeks from one to another, past their memorial, from the 1st to the 2nd, from the 2nd to the 3rd, from the 3rd to the 4th. And all the days of the commandment will be 250 weeks of days. These will make the entire year complete. Thus it is engraved and ordained on the heavenly tablets, and there is no neglecting this commandment for a single year or from year to year. And commanded you the children of Israel that they observe the years according to this reckoning, 364 days. And these will constitute a complete year. And they will not disturb its time from its days and from its feasts, For everything will fall out in them according to their testimony, and they will not leave out any day, nor disturb any feast. But if they do neglect and do not observe them according to his commandment, then they will disturb all their seasons, and the years will be dislodged from this order, and they will disturb the seasons, and the years will be dislodged, and they will neglect their ordinances, and all the children of Israel will forget, will not find the path of the years, and will forget the new moons and seasons and Shabbathot, and they will go wrong as to all the order of the years. For I know, and from henceforth will I declare it unto you, and it is not of my own devising, for the Sefer lies written before me, and on the heavenly tablets the division of days is ordained, lest they forget the feasts of the covenant, and walk according to the feasts of the other people after their error and after their ignorance. For there will be those who will assuredly make observations of the moon, how it disturbs the seasons, and comes in from year to year 10 days too soon. For this reason the years will come upon them when they will disturb the order, and will make an abominable day the day of testimony, and an unclean day a feast day. And they will confound all the days, the holy and the unclean day with the holy, for they will go wrong as to the months and Shabbatot and feasts and Jubilees. For this reason I command and testify to you, that you may testify to them. For after your death your children will disturb them, so they will not make the year 364 days only. For this reason they will go wrong as to the new moons and seasons and Shabbatot and feasts, and they will eat all the kinds of blood with all kinds of flesh. Well, until next time, may you all have a great night and a fantastic tomorrow.